We had this cabinet built in the port aft cabin and the starboard aft cabin, the master cabin. So this cabinet is just for us an amazing thing. I used to run a kids furniture company, so furniture design was my thing, and yeah, this is what I've done. So of course this is a cupboard underneath. In this case there are 3 shelves, which are absolutely perfect. But what we also did was we turned it not just into the regular desk, vanity type desk that Leopard have in the master cabin, but we turned it into a work desk because Melinda's daughter Georgia, as you saw in previous episodes, was living here. So this is actually now a work desk, and the monitor is both a television. It's a much more expensive model than just a regular television or just a regular computer screen. It's also now the monitor for the computer, which is housed in here. And then if not as a monitor, and the keyboard is on top here, and we'll show you the rest of the computer connection, well, then it gets used as the TV on the bed, the regular way that Leopard use this swing arm. So that's the normal working position, working with the computer and the keyboard on top. There is no computer and keyboard over here at the moment. We'll show you the other room. There is, however, an Ethernet connection to the Ethernet splitter at the nav station. So when we are underway, this is what we do. We close that and we connect that in so that it can't move. And of course we push the little ottoman out of the way. And that's it. So we got clothes storage in there, mostly socks and underwear and those sort of smaller items. We got the computer in there. We got this acting as part of the computer, as the computer screen and the television.
This area on a normal Leopard 50 is completely open. There's absolutely nothing there. It's just dead space.
There are 4 USB ports here. This is so that when you want to plug USB things into, external hard drive or whatever it is that you would want to plug in that's USB to your computer, you just plug it in here. You don't have to open this desk to get to the computer, because this computer is already connected to that USB extender. And we have that at the nav station and at the starboard aft desk like this as well, which we'll show you now. So the both aft cabins, their computers, have a Ethernet cable that's properly run to here. I have an Ethernet splitter to which all devices are run. All devices run to this Ethernet splitter. From this Ethernet splitter is running out to the aft cabins. It's also running over here to our Starlink and into here where my little computer is. You can see that we use the NUC computers, or next unit of computing, because they're tiny and powerful. And there you can see my USB port, so that whenever I'm plugging anything in, like these hard drives over here, or even the dongle for this mouse and keyboard, we just plug it in here. We don't need to open that. The other thing is that all of these computers have a fan. So if you lift this computer up, there's a fan underneath it. You can see it's actually moving at the moment, and it's constantly, whenever the computer gets turned on, the fan gets turned on. The same for the NAS drive. This is the server. I think we've got something like 16 terabytes of space on here. It's connected to the Ethernet splitter, as is our UFI camera, and as is our Ajax alarm system. Everything is connected to that splitter, and including a separate router, which we have an Asus router over here, which is connected to the Starlink router. And then the printer is connected by Wi-Fi. This is Melinda's computer desk. Here you can see hers is always out because she uses it frequently, including for the editing. And the computer it works exactly the same as on the other side. She has quite a bit connected into her USB extender. Yep, very, very simple. And she'll open it for you now and show you the actual computer inside there. So if you're looking at going on a boat, look for a NUC. They're now no longer made by Intel. Intel have palmed them off to, there's the actual computer over here. You can see it's not much bigger than a box of cigarettes, but it is really, really powerful. Like many Leopard 50s, you can see the line that's right here that is in line with the table. We've added this extra drawer. It made no sense for us not to add the drawer, and then we moved our plug points, and including the extra plug points that we did, we moved them up to cater for the drawer. The other thing we think we're the only one that has done, or certainly in Cape Town they said they'd never seen it before, is when you get this is a single panel and it's closed, and that space is behind there waiting for the factory or for someone to put in an air conditioner. Well, we were going to put in individual units, low draw air conditioners, as opposed to the chiller unit that they use, and our low draw air unit went up here, so we had all the space to rip that panel out and turn it into cupboard space. And the amount of cupboard space we've gained here is phenomenal. I mean, if you can see it, Melinda's got 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2 piles of clothing. So this has been just an absolute godsend and a wonderful use of space. Additionally, like other Leopard owners, we've added in drawers over here. I think normally what they do is they add in 2 only. We've added in the regular 2, but we've also added in another smaller drawer for lower items.
I don't think there is a boatie alive, or a lady boatie alive, that actually sits and uses that vanity as a dressing table in a boat.
Yeah, we were just on somebody else's boat
crazy.
last night,
Yeah.
and they said they never sit there. They've got it, they've not filled it up with drawers, but they never sit there. So instead they've stuck their fridge, their 12-volt fridge in there. So moving forward, this space when Leopard gives it to you is just a solid shelf space. They've got the floor in it. We've come along and we've raised and changed the dustbin so that we could fit in a shelf over here. And this shelf then, of course, literally just doubles the space because nothing is that high. There was no point in not putting a shelf in there. The thing that excites us and that we know is 100% unique is our utility room. So we designed this in Sydney even before we got here. And I'm pretty keen to show you what it looks like because it really is multifunction and it really makes the best possible space. Now, Leopard's utility room is very pretty, but when you really look at the amount of space usage that you get there, I would venture to say we've increased this, we've quadrupled it, or by 5 times, whatever that is. So the first thing is, my madam wanted both a washing machine and a drying machine, not the mix. So we ripped out, the only part of the original utility room we left in was from my left hand to my right hand. We left this in. Everything else from here all the way around was ripped out so that all we saw for many, many, many months was green fiberglass. So we've got this extra space. So starting here, a Leopard give you this big shelf, which one could say, oh, it's good for brooms or whatever. So what we did was we added in a couple of cleats over here. We added in 3 so we can adjust the shelves. And you can see we've got 2 shelves, which gives us 3 spaces.
With a huge amount of mess in them.
Yeah. So this is as per Leopard, but here we've added the space for our washing machine. Okay, so actually in retrospect, if we were to do this again, we wouldn't go for the dryer. And the reason is you're on a boat and we dry it all outside and clothing is better dried naturally anyway. I mean, it's only in really cold places, which we don't really intend to be, that you might use a dryer, but we have used it here and there. So if we had our way, we'd either be putting in some shelves, some adjustable shelves, probably with cupboard doors, so that stuff wasn't falling out underway. So moving around, we built all of this extra space here. You can see two cubbies, plus a space over here for a fire extinguisher. And then coming around, we built this cabinetry here. Over here, we've got a huge big space. Originally, we thought it was going to be used for, we would use that one or this one for dirty washing. So this is the big daddy space and the one that excites me. So in here, when we lift this up, we have got, tra-la, a full domestic freezer. This is a home freezer, a 220 litre, 220 volt domestic freezer. The space that we've got in this freezer is more than all of the space on this boat put together. All of the refrigeration and freezer space on this boat together. And this is 220 litres. It's also in South Africa. It's rated as a 36-hour blackout freezer. In other words, if it was off for 36 hours the food would still be frozen. The other thing is I've looked at and we've measured the wattage usage per day. It is tiny. It is definitely no bigger than a Dometic 50 litre 12 volt. It is really, really tiny. This thing is hardly runs. I think it runs for about 2 hours of the day. But we've gone further. When we close this up,
Well, you are.
yeah, and put that in there, this is a desk at which one could be, I'm sitting lower than a chair, one could be sewing or working or whatever the case is. It's a pretty solid piece of wood. But more importantly, when you lift it up and you put it up here, it's a bed. That space, that distance there is 175 centimeters, and this distance here is 202. Trala. Oh, you're already being videoed, so you can either be a muhu. So lie on this side and lie straight, put your head against the, on this side, put your head up there. Come this side. Come this side. Tell me when your head's against the wood.
Yeah.
Okay, so still a long way to go. Lie on the short side. So lie on the short side, and let's see if you touch on the short side. You'll probably just touch. Yeah. Okay, put your feet straight up. Okay. Still don't even touch on the short side.
But at least I can sit up.
You could put your pillow there and you... Oh my gosh, how lekker is that?
Oh.
I tell you what. Ah. Okay,
Yeah.
you the view. You the view. Okay, then I'm videoing the view. Bottom line is I'm really excited because here's another 2 guests. How cool is that? Very important was to use every bit of space and also to make sure that access was good. So from the point of view of accessing or removing the freezer, all we've got are these 2 bolts to take out. This piece of wood comes out and we've got total access to it, and we can remove the freezer out of that. But we raised this freezer right up to the top height because we knew we would get an additional bit of space down below. So we've got all of that space down below. And moving left then, what we did was we put in more shelves in this corner here. We also turned, we bought these, we are DeWalt as they call it, or Deerwalt as my Afrikaans friends call it. We have DeWalt everything. So we bought this charger which we installed upside down so that we aren't using the shelf space below, and we simply put our batteries in there. Let me take this out of the way so you can have a look. There are batteries in. There we go. We can put in up to 4 batteries here without using any shelf space. And then of course we got the shelves. And this specific shelf here, we've put an additional cleat in over here, so if we wanted it to be shorter, but we never use it that way, we use it this way. So in this space we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves. Now remember, Leopard, when they give you this utility room, the utility room is about another 12 centimeters shorter, and this makes a heck of a difference. You can also see down the bottom here, all the way along, we are using that shelf space, no matter what, the floor space to store things. But this is the important thing.
All the power tools fit nice and snug into this area.
Going back. So over here, one of our doors has been removed by Just Cats because there was some bubbling of the laminate, and it'll be refitted later this week. Behind this door, there are 14 of these briefcases, and these briefcases help us organize everything. I'll show you what it looks like in just one of these briefcases. So now you can imagine that times 14 hiding behind this door. And they are just fantastic. The quality of these, which are bought from Bunnings in Australia, and we had exactly the same in our house, is just amazing. Now the door, when it comes on, helps to prevent these from sliding out when we're underway. And if you have a look behind this door, we have another 14 of them. So in total we have 28. I mean, in this one we've got all sorts of clasps and what have you. Melinda sorted everything absolutely beautifully. We've got nuts, screws, bolts, haberdashery stuff in these 2 shelves. And behind this door, we have got our safe, we've got some additional storage, and we've got 4 more of this brand of briefcase, but they are bigger. These 4 are obviously for differently sized items that otherwise might not fit into here. So when Leopard give you the utility room option, as I've mentioned, it's a lot shorter. It's also on this side not so deep. So I think they've got it here. Now you can imagine that if you only went that high and only that little bit at the back, you're losing a lot of space. It's a nice looking utility room, but again, it's about 1/5 as efficient as this is. In fact, where you see these boxes run to the back, the cupboard shelf is about there. Behind there, down in the bottom, when we remove all of these briefcases and the back that holds the briefcases from going further back, we've actually got a hidden safe. So that when we're traveling through these less than desirable or slightly dangerous places, we can put dummy credit cards and dummy documents and a bit of money as like a diversionary thing in our main safe, and our real stuff is hidden behind there.